Hey guys, just wanted to touch base with everybody and let you know that even while I'm on vacation, I am still keeping an eye out for mismanagement. Um, and we're here in a beach row cottage, and just want to show you guys some of the things I see. This property is professionally managed by one of the select management companies on the island, and it's really hard. Even the best managers, best systems and processes, for them to accurately oversee everything. And I think this is some of the items that come in when you are a landlord or you're an investor. I think these are just some of the things that you should really know and understand and keep an eye out for. Um, Not to say that the management company shouldn't do these things, but I just want to show you some of the quality workmanship that happens on rental property. So the particular property that we're staying in was built in 1997, so it's about 25 years old, give or take. It's got a lot of wear and tear, but honestly, um, for the age of the property and in its location and probably the amount of times that it's been rented, probably not that bad. If you figure 16 weeks, peak season in the summer, if it was rented every single one of those weeks for the past 20 some odd years, there's potentially 300 or more families that have come in and out of the property, which is quite a bit of wear and tear. So just some of the things I noticed is just workmanship. So I'll flip this around and I'll share some of that with you. So one of the things I noticed is the theme of this property is everything's purple, right? So what you can see here is as they have painted the deck above, whoever is contracted to paint this has basically gotten paint all over the concrete down here. So the entire thing, right? So this is just one of several items that we've seen. And you can even notice on the property next door that it has been painted. I'm not sure if you guys can see that or not, but that's a rental property as well. And it looks like they tried to maybe at one time match the paint, or maybe even use the same color. I've seen that. I've seen that where companies have literally taken the paint from the exact same can that it was originally painted, and just humidity differences, time of year differences will literally make the paint not be the same color. So in a situation like that, it would have been a better idea, instead of have paint Dalmatian, to just paint the whole side. Just do it. Probably wouldn't have cost much more money legitimately to paint the entire side than it did to paint the areas that got painted. So again, back here to our purple paint fiasco. Literally they've gotten purple paint on all of the white handrails all the way up. So these would be things that I would look for as an owner if I was looking at, possibly before and after pictures from the management company sending me things. I would be looking for this to basically say, essentially it was not a quality job. The paint itself, you can tell there that it was purple previously, and they have painted over it, which doesn't look too terribly bad. You can see a little bit of overspray there on the white. They've come in, the owners have probably paid to have somebody come here and, fill these splinters in with caulk, fill these rusty nails in with caulk. Even here on the siding, they've probably paid to have somebody come in and fill this type of stuff in, which is all well and good. But sometimes the cost to send vendors out to do a repair on items is, sometimes it's in the 60 to 80% range of what it would cost to just do it completely new, to basically tear off the old, put a brand new one on and just go with it, as opposed to band-aiding things. So these are just some of the items. I'll take you inside and I'll show you some more items there too. So here we are inside, and I'm not sure if you can see this or not, but you can take a look at that wall. Obviously quite a bit of wear and tear, marks on the walls, not a big deal, but it is, I'm not sure if you can see the mismatch on the paint. That is possibly mismatched paint and or magic eraser that has scrubbed the paint literally off of the wall all the way down. So potentially saving the owner some money by not having to repaint, but just I wanted to make sure that you notice the discoloration in the walls from scrubbing. And it does look like it's scrubbing because you can see it a lot around the switch outlet there. So they've scrubbed the grimy hand marks off of the walls, but literally they are scrubbing the paint off of the walls. And you know, you may get away with that a time or two, but in the grand scheme of things, you probably want to consider that, where you would want to come in and repaint. Something else that I noticed, just the construction of this property, there's multiple places where there are tile floors down, even upstairs in the kitchen with ceramic tile floors, and the construction and how the flooring was applied, you wouldn't know any better unless you could see underneath this tile, but in the upstairs I can actually see underneath the tile because one of the tiles is broken away, and the tiles are laid directly on top of what looks like 1/2-inch plywood, and with the give and that sort of plywood and not having a concrete backer board, the tiles are cracking, and you know, that's an installation thing. Something else we can see here, no telling when this type of thing happened, but you've got the toilet tank is cracked right there. The crack itself is not leaking, but there's no telling if or when that was reported, but obviously should be fixed. So a lot of people want to leave washers and dryers in their properties, in their rental properties. We strongly suggest that they do not do so, but I wanted to show you the type of things that happen, especially with these front load washers. You can just look here at the mold all around the ring of this. So ultimately here, I mean, if you could smell this, it would knock you out. But the responsibility to fix that, if you leave a washer and dryer in your property, would be the landlord's responsibility to fix that, not the tenant's. So it's just added expense that you don't need to take on if you are an owner of a property. Allow the tenants to move their own washers and dryers in and not have that added expense for you know, potentially misuse. And when I say misuse, it just means that they close the washing machine after use. So here's another area of the property where we can see that there's just some neglect of maintenance, and possibly you got some moisture damage going on from driving rain or something here at the oceanfront. But you can see where they had a picture on the wall, and there was mildew behind it, just from probably the humidity of the property, or possibly from air conditioning blowing full blast when people are here during the hottest part of the summer. It was just smeared off. But if you look down here, you can see that they've obviously had moisture problems in the wall, and as opposed to, you know, maybe fix this, or what the potential cause may be, which could be duct work behind the walls and it's sweating, they've just continued to paint it. So sometimes in properties, you know, even the most well-meaning architects and engineers that are designing these, things don't work practically in the real world, and sometimes you need to adjust and course correct if you're noticing that there are ongoing problems that ultimately tenants would want you to fix.